Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be talking about a Google form I've had in my description for the past, month or so, and how we can kind of use this as a general analysis of the 2024 election and seeing where the channel subscribers really are leaning towards depending on who's going to win each individual state. Now, before we get started with the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell, and follow all socials in the links in the description. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. And so if we actually go over here, we are going to see my form that I had actually made when I hit 1,000 subscribers. And by the way, guys, thank you very, very much for 4,000 subscribers. We just hit 4K. We are growing at an exponential rate at this point, and I cannot wait to keep expanding the community. I am actually going to be streaming in a little bit. I will be streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but just running out a little bit of content to do. I thought, why not just go over this since it has a decent sample size. Now, of course, it's going to be heavily skewed to the right because I have a specific feeling that the majority of the audience is, basically Republican slash independent for the most part. But we're going to get started with the question. So basically, who will win the popular vote? 273 respondents say Donald Trump, 144 respondents say Joe Biden, and 5 respondents say RFK, and I think one response had Jill Stein winning the popular vote. Now, I didn't do these as in who would you vote for. I did these more as a who do you think will win it. So it's not a it's this is more like a betting odds kind of poll if you really think about it. If you look at this, the electorate, 70% white, 11% Hispanic, only 4% African American, but I did include mixed race, which ends up being a lot of respondents. You could say, okay, maybe the black electorate is maybe like about roughly 10-ish%. And if you look at Asian Americans, it's about 8% of the electorate in this poll. If we look at this, the majority of the audience who actually ended up answering this was a lot younger. It was 18 to 25 year olds mostly answering this poll, even though only 1% of my audience is actually considered 18 to 25 year olds, which is kind of funny. Then you could see as the electorate got older and older, less and less people filled this out. Hopefully, in another scenario, we can have a little bit more of a more, balanced out thing here. We can see what's your education status. The majority of this poll is college educated, and basically 98% of the poll, was a male majority poll. Hence why Trump has such a big lead in this scenario as of right now. I included sexual orientation just because I kind of wanted to see what demographics I was playing it with, and there is a subsection of this poll, about 10% that is not straight, and about 88% of them are. If we look at the state of Nevada, the first state on the map, I actually am going to fill out all of the safe states that I did not include in the poll. I included the states of Hawaii, states of Alaska, California, Oregon, all of these as safe Republican states. If I do fill out one that I'm like, okay, I probably forgot that I asked in the questions, then I will fill it back in. I did actually include New York in the scenario, by the way. I did include New York because I felt like, the state is polling under 10 percentage points. So I was like, why not? So if we go to the first state here, the first state is the state of Nevada, which what I'm going to do is if the margin is like over a very overwhelming amount, I'm going to put it as likely. If it's a little bit closer, I'm going to put it as lean. And if it's like really, really close, I'll put it as tilt, but none of them are going to be like that. So who will win Nevada in 2024? According to 420 respondents, 81% of respondents say Donald Trump will win it, to Joe Biden's 17%. So we are going to put this in the likely category. If we go to the state of Arizona, 79% of respondents say Donald Trump will win, to Joe Biden's 19%. So this is going to be categorized as a likely state for this video. If we go over here, the state of Texas, 97% of respondents say Donald Trump is going to win it. So you could roughly put that in the safe category, to be honest. If you go to the state of Iowa, 97% of respondents say that Donald Trump will win the state, putting that in the safe Republican category. If we go to the state of Ohio, 97 respondents say that Donald Trump will win the state, giving it to him by a safe margin. If we go to the state of Minnesota, Joe Biden's 78% of respondents say that he will win the state of Minnesota to Donald Trump's 84. So that puts the state of Minnesota in the likely category for this describer decided poll. If we go down to the state of Wisconsin, Donald Trump is beating Joe Biden 79% to 19%, putting Donald Trump in the likely category in the scenario. I think Illinois may have not actually been included in the poll. If we go to the state of Michigan is actually under 70%. Donald Trump wins it 66 to 31. So for that reason, I am going to put it in the lean category. If we go to the state of Pennsylvania, 71 to 26%. So that does fall under the likely category for this poll. If we go to the state of New York, Joe Biden is basically at 87% to Donald Trump's 11%. So I am going to still put it in the safe category just because it is over, 85%, or at least, it's over an 80% margin. If you go to New Hampshire, the state is a likely margin of Joe Biden's 69% to Donald Trump's 26%. The state of Virginia will be likely with Joe Biden's 77% to Donald Trump's 22%, putting the state at the likely margin here. Going down to the state of North Carolina, it is a 94% margin, basically putting it in the safe category for Donald Trump. And if we actually go to the state of Georgia, it is in fact 91 to 8%. Despite Joe Biden winning it, it is in fact a safe margin on the subscriber decided poll for some reason. And if we go to the state of Florida, 98% of respondents say that Donald Trump will win the state of Florida, putting it in the safe category. And then if we go to Nebraska's second district, more than likely Joe Biden will end up taking the state, which puts the map at 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump to 226 electoral votes for Joe Biden, basically making Michigan the closest state on the entire poll map. I guess it's maybe because of the fact that, the state had voted for Trump once, voted for Joe Biden once, and the state is a weird state where it trends Democrat, but it votes Republican in 2016. And it's just a very overwhelming state electorally. So I think because of that, that is why some people, it was the closer one. And this does match on my election prediction in the model as well. As of the starting of this video, there will be a new poll released where I am going to more than likely ask. In this poll, I am going to ask, okay, if the general election was held today, who would you vote for? And then, like, who would you vote for? Who do you think is going to win these states? The reason why I have to do it that way is because of the fact that the reason why I have to do it that way is because if somebody from Georgia answers the poll in Wisconsin, then it doesn't make any sense. I can't limit the poll to say, okay, where do you live? Wisconsin. Oh, okay, if these states, unless I literally go through each poll one by one, or I basically say, okay, you can only vote for the state that you live in, which in that case, then I could do it like that as well. But I will be releasing a new poll. As of this video, the poll link will be put on the screen and will be linked in the description as well. And so that is basically it for that. And so this is pretty much what this form ended up showing as of right now. Hopefully we get more submissions in the next poll. And that is basically it for this, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that little bell, and follow all socials in the links in the description down below. And I hope to see you guys in tonight's stream.